Welcome back to our next English lesson. And today we actually get on to writing. Before we do that, we're going to have a look at another grammar focus. Hopefully by now you've got all of your plans done. And remember, your plan is just that, it's a plan. It should be a fact that you have as much information as you can get in each of your different areas. What that enables you to do is to write that paragraph without having to think too hard about what's going into it, just about how you are formulating the paragraph using that information. It's interesting because if you've got a good note-taking skill and you're able to find the information, it actually makes the writing much, much easier. Remember, a plan doesn't have to be followed word for word, but it is there to help and guide you and mean that you don't have to think through things as you're writing. So, what we're actually going to do today is have a look at one of these two, and we're going to look at nouns. Now, hopefully you should be quite okay with the fact that a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. But there is more to nouns than that, and we need to know different types of noun. So there are different types of nouns. They can be grouped into different types. You have an abstract noun and concrete nouns. You have collective nouns and compound nouns, and common nouns and proper nouns. Now, only one of these nouns deserves a capital letter, and we'll come on to that. So when you're writing, what you're thinking of is it this type of noun? Does it deserve a capital letter? And this gives a lot away. So let's have a look. We're going to start with abstract nouns. And abstract nouns are probably one of the weirdest nouns because abstract nouns, it doesn't exist to touch or taste or see. It's a thought or an idea. So it doesn't have a physical thing to it. It's described as a thought or a state of being or a feeling. You can't touch, taste, see, smell, hear abstract nouns. Two examples of this are bravery and friendship, but it can be anything along those sorts of lines. So fear would be an abstract noun. Happiness would be an abstract noun. It is something. We know it's there, we can feel it, but we can't touch it, taste it, smell it. It's a thing without being a physical thing. And there's quite a lot of these. And we use them all the time. We just don't necessarily know they're abstract nouns. The next one are concrete nouns. And actually, concrete nouns comes under some of the others as well. And concrete nouns are any noun that you can experience with your five senses, i.e. you can see them, hear them, taste them, feel them. And they also, come under other types of nouns. So a common noun could also be a concrete noun. In the case of these ones, a bottle on a car, both of these are common nouns, but also concrete nouns because they are real things. Next, we have collective nouns. And collective nouns are groups. So a collective noun names a group of things. And there's really interesting collective nouns. Some of the examples are a class of pupils, so class being a collective noun, a gaggle of geese, a flock of sheep, a nest of vipers, and a prickle of porcupines. And there are lots of others as well. Parliament of ravens and owls, a congregation of birds. There is so many different collective nouns, and some of them there's a really nice websites and stuff that go through all of the odd collective nouns you can. Maybe that's something you can look up. What's the oddest collective noun you can find out? There truly are some great ones. Our next one are compound nouns. And compound nouns are interesting because a compound noun is a word that's made up of two separate parts. Therefore, it's two nouns that come together to create one. And sometimes compound nouns might have a hyphen between them, between the two original words, or sometimes the two words might come completely together. And compound nouns are another one of those ones that can come under other headings as well. So a compound noun can be a common noun and a concrete noun, and vice versa. It's compound nouns are just that idea that they are two ideas that are put together to make one. So ideas of that is a bedroom. The two words are bed and room, but together bedroom is the place where you find the bed. Toothpaste, two words put together to make another object, which is the toothpaste, which is the paste we use on our teeth. Or dining table, which is the table you find in the dining room. These are all ideas or examples of compound nouns, two words put together to make a new one. We have common nouns, and these are the ones we see all the time. These are the names of any general things. They're almost the opposite of a proper noun being a specific thing, whereas a common noun is the generic, the general things. Ideas of table, garden, shop, boy, sink, school, you name it, quite a lot of them come underneath that. Computer, microphone, pillow, whatever it happens to be. And then we have proper nouns. And the proper nouns are the ones that are important enough that they deserve a capital letter no matter where they come in a sentence. And they are really important. So proper nouns are the specific name of something, whether it is something unique like a person, a brand, a place, a country, a day. All of these have a very specific name. Therefore they are a proper noun and deserve a capital letter. So, like London Land Rover and Mr. Burford, I am just about important enough that I deserve a capital letter. Just about. So, can you, from this list of nouns, can you see if you can put them into different groups? Can you find the abstract, the concrete, the collective, the compound, the proper, and the common nouns amongst these? Reminder, some of them will be in more than one. Pause now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look. Bear in mind that some of these will fit into more than one, and I haven't necessarily done all of them. So, our abstract nouns are hate, happiness, fear, and peace. Our concrete nouns could be hand and table, but we could put other things in there, such as friend, handbag, motorbike. These are all things that we can taste, feel, and taste and touch. Collective nouns we've got are class, team, pack, and shoal. Shoal being a fish, a pack of animals like wolves, a team of footballers, a class of pupils. We can also have a few compound words we've got in here as handbag and motorbike. We've got some proper nouns. These should be easy to spot because they've got a capital letter. Africa, London, Saturday, Cairo, and James. James being the name of a person, Saturday being the name of a day, Cairo and London being a name of a city, and Africa being the name of a continent. And then we've got our common nouns. We've got hand, table, friend, country, family. Family might also be classed as a collective noun because we could talk about my family group, but it could also be your family or my family used in a common way as well. So, your main task. Your main task is to write the starter non-chronological report. You do have 2 lessons to do this, both today and tomorrow. And what I want you to do is to take your time. I don't want you to rush. I don't want you to try and finish it all in one go. I want you to think about every sentence you're writing down and try to make that sentence the best it can possibly be. Remember our toolkit. Your toolkit is your way of thinking through what needs to be in each section and any tricks that you could include in order to show your writing off. Remember, you're trying to paint your ability in the best possible light. Now, tomorrow there won't be a standalone English lesson because of the screen-free Friday afternoon. So what your job will be is to finish off writing your non-chronological report. What I'm going to leave you with is our toolkit. This is our toolkit. And we've got lots of information here. All of the blue ones being the structural parts. And hopefully, if you planned it correctly, all of those bits will already be done for you. And then what that means is you can really just focus in on the green bits, the grammar features of our non-chronological reports. And you can work in how to put these into your non-chronological report as you write it in more detail. Remember, your information paragraphs aren't just a list of things. You can't just list whatever it is that you found out. It needs to be more than that. Not only do you need to give information, you need to be detailed. You need to explain it. You need to give more information to the reader. If you were doing, for example, Viking weapons and you just made a list using a colon and commas to introduce a list and in between each article in your list, brilliant. But that wouldn't be the end of your paragraph. You can't just list sayax, hand axe, single-handed spear, shield, helmet, chainmail, sword, because you're not giving any additional information. You're not giving detailed information, and that's the important part. So think about how you might use a semicolon when you've got two closely linked sentences. You can use a colon to introduce an extended list. You could use brackets, commas, or hyphens to introduce additional information, parenthesis. You could add fronted verbals to tell when, where, or how, or the order that something might happen in. The more majority of things that you might talk about in this case, the adverbial starters that you could easily use are where and when. You might use apostrophe for ownership. The Viking warrior's sword was their most prized possession. Well, the sword is owned by the Viking warrior, so Viking warrior would have an apostrophe S on the end. And commas in a list. So there's comma twice in this. Commas for parenthesis and commas for a list. Good luck. Show me what you can do. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.